The opinions expressed in this video are my own and not those of SMA News Today, its parent company, BioNews, nor any other organization. These videos are intended to spark discussions about issues pertaining to spinal muscular atrophy and are not meant to be professional medical advice. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Morale Monologue. My name is Michael Morale. So in today's video, I want to give you a little bit of an update with regards to what's going on with me in my life. I try to make my videos as positive as I can, but what I'm going to talk about today sounds like bad news. It's very discouraging for me, but I want to do this video because if you're going to go through the same thing that I am eventually, hopefully you won't, but if you do, maybe you'll learn something from this video that will make what you're going to go through a little bit easier. Now, I am in no way going to give any kind of medical advice because we don't do that here on the SMA News Today YouTube channel, but I'm just going to tell you what I've been doing and what's going on with me, because I know a lot of people are probably wondering, why am I doing my videos laying in bed when I used to be sitting behind my desk? So I'll explain all that today. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I went through a pretty serious lung infection back in August of last year. I lost anywhere from between 30 and 40 pounds, which really didn't do me any good. And while the lung infection is getting better, it's still causing me some problems. Coupled with that, I've also got a very bad tailbone, which, by the way, is doing a little bit better because of some changes that we've made with regards to the way that I lay in bed, and when I do sit in my chair, I just have to make sure that I position properly so it takes some of the pressure off the tailbone. But the biggest problem in my life right now is the sciatic nerve. Now, the sciatic nerve is a nerve that runs up your leg, through your buttocks into your back, and it's what can cause your leg to go numb. My right thigh, calf, ankle, and foot will just go numb on me in a matter of seconds. And that's because I've lost a lot of weight in my buttocks, and by sitting on nothing but bone and nerve, guess what nerve I'm sitting on? That sciatic nerve. So laying in bed, it doesn't bother me. But when I'm sitting in my chair, if I sit in my chair for, say, 3 or 4 hours, I have to position usually 5 or 6 times per hour. And it's because I can't lift my body weight up to get the pressure off that nerve. I have to lean over from side to side or lean forward until my leg and foot get all the blood flow back in it. Now, the sciatic nerve has actually been a problem of mine for many years. I just didn't know it until about a year and a half ago. And by learning this, we're looking at different ways of helping it, but they can't do surgery on it because there's so many nerves in your body. They can do a nerve block, but the nerve blocks only last for about anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months. So let's say that it lasted 2 weeks. I'd be going back to my pain doctor twice a month for her to do a surgical procedure because she can't do it in her office. And it's just really not worth doing. And besides that, my pain doctor wouldn't do that anyway. Now, you've probably heard stories where the nerves go dead after a while. She said that could happen to me, but probably not, given that I'm nearly 60 years old. So, I know that there's probably been some questions as to why I'm doing my videos in bed, and now you know. Now, is this going to be a permanent part of my life? I don't know. I hope not. But it's the reality that I'm facing, given the fact that I've got a progressive neuromuscular disease. And again, I don't want to scare anybody. Many of you won't go through what I'm going through. I've got a friend of mine that I know that doesn't live too far away from me. He's a little bit heavier than I am, but that may be to his benefit because I lost all that weight, especially in my buttocks. Basically, my therapist said that if you stood me up and looked at me from behind, It looks like somebody took a pin and deflated my right butt cheek. I know it's not a visual that you want, and I hope you're not eating right now while watching this video, but it is what's happening to me. So again, I've got a really good pain doctor. She put me on oxycodone, or some people know it as Oxycontin, for the pain in my tailbone, and that's helping. I take that 3 times a day, and I can take it 4 if I need it. But the good thing about it is it's fast acting. So if I go to bed after sitting in my chair, say around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and if I'm in pain, I can take one of those tablets and we just crush it up because it's really hard for me to swallow a pill. So we can crush it up and put it in applesauce. If I take that pill, I'm usually good to go within 15 minutes. And it'll last about 5 to 6 hours. So I take it every 6 hours at 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and again at 8 a.m. And sometimes in the morning I may need two, and my pain doctor gave me permission to do that. So if you're going through pain, I tried my best, and I was the biggest advocate for not taking opioids. Okay, we all know in America and around the world there's an opioid problem where people are getting addicted to them, and I swore that I would never take an opioid. But it got to the point where I was in pain literally every moment that I was sitting in my wheelchair, and I could not do that anymore. It was getting to the point where I had to succumb to the pain and do something about it. Being brave is one thing, being stupid is another. And I'm not going to sit in my chair and be stupid and think, well, I'll just get over the pain, because I was not able to do that. The pain became too much. So, yes, I am on an opioid, but it's being managed through a pain doctor. I go through a drug test every time I go in to make sure that there's not any chemical reactions that are going on, to make sure that I'm not taking another opioid behind my doctor's back. But mainly it's to make sure that there's no damage. And then I also have to go through a blood test every once in a while to make sure that there's no liver or kidney or any kind of other internal damage that the opioid could cause. Yes, it is one of the side effects, but we're being very careful with it. So regarding the sciatic nerve, we found this out when my PT was on maternity leave, and I was working with another PT, and she was stretching my hips, and I was laying on my side on the PT table, and she was also repositioning my tailbone. She just placed the palm of her hand, or the butt of her hand, against my tailbone, and she can move it to keep it loose. Well, she also went down a little bit down on my buttocks, and she hit that nerve, and I told her, I said, whoa, now my leg is numb. And so she told me, she said, I'm going to do it again because I think I know what's going on. She hit that nerve again with the butt of her hand as she was pressing on the buttocks. And again, my leg, foot, ankle just went numb. And I think I told you this in a previous video, but she told me, she said, yeah, I think some of your problem is your tailbone, but a lot of your problem is your sciatic nerve. And if you do research on the sciatic nerve, there's really no magic pill that you can take to fix it. So my life may be getting to the point to where I'm not going to be able to spend as much time in my wheelchair. And while it's depressing, it's also something that I have to admit to myself that this may be what has to happen. Now, luckily, I work for a great company. The CEO got me a laptop that I can use. So thankfully, I'm still able to keep my job and work 8 or 10 hours a day. Matter of fact, I'm probably more productive laying in bed than I am sitting in my wheelchair, because I'm not having to have somebody come in and readjust me and move me around. So I do get out of my chair every day, or at least I try to, so that I can get out of bed. We're definitely watching for bed sores, or otherwise known as pressure ulcers, to make sure that I don't form those. We've come up with a different way for me laying on my back where I've got another blanket under me, so my tailbone is not laying directly on the mattress. It's on a blanket, which is giving it some good cushion, and lately I've been extremely comfortable. So while it may not be good news for me right now, at least I'm trying to stay positive, because if this is what I have to deal with the rest of my life, there's no reason to get angry about it, because it's not going to do me any good. I'm not going to preach my religion to you, but I am a Christian, and I believe that this is something that I have to work with, and I'm okay with that. It is something that a lot of people go through that don't necessarily have SMA. So, the natural progression of a neuromuscular disease will tell you that you're probably going to get worse as you get older, and you're going to get worse due to your age, because that's what the word progressive means. So what I would advise you to do and recommend that you do is talk to your doctor. If you're going through any kind of pain, talk to your doctor to find out if there's something that they can do for you. Maybe they can recommend a pain doctor. If you're having sciatic nerve pain, usually a neurologist might be able to help, but a pain doctor or a physical therapist would probably be your best bet. So those of us at SMA News Today hope that all of you have had a great day. Do me a favor, please. Do something for yourself that's going to make you a better person. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.